Hello! Today we're going to be doing two nice geometry problems from 2016 AMC 8 that will not be as challenging as like super hard problems, but like they're not too easy either. Okay? So, firstly, let's read the question. So, rectangle DEFA below is a 3x4 rectangle. So, we're going to start by labeling this as 4. So, right? DC is equal to CB is equal to BA is equal to 1. So all of these right here are 1. 1. What is the area of the black region? Okay, so now we can find that we can use like subtracting areas that we don't need. Okay, so we can start off by seeing a 4x1 rectangle, triangle, which is this little part here. Okay, we have another one of them here. So now we can take 4 times 1 over 2, which is we're literally just simply finding the area of the rectangle, which is 2. So since there's 2 of them, we have 4 total. 2 times 2. Okay, 12 minus 4. Subtracting. Now we're already done with these in a minute. Okay, so now we have to find the area of this and this. Okay, so we know that this base is 3, and then this is 1, right? So we can use something called similar triangles here. Okay, so basically, if this is a new concept, firstly, let me explain this to you. They're sharing an angle, which is directly telling us that it's similar triangles. They're sharing an angle. Okay, so now we have 3, 4, 5 right triangle. Okay, it's similar, but not equal to. Equal to would be congruent. 9, 12, 15 with a common ratio of +3. Okay, sorry, excuse my bad handwriting. So now we can see that since both of these are sharing a base, which is right, they're sharing a base. This shows us that the heights must also be in common ratio, and the ratios of the say this base is equal to this side and this side, right? That means that the heights are also in the same common ratio. So we can set this as H1 and this is H2. Simple. Okay, so now we get that since H1 is smaller than H2, we can write an equation that H1 is equal to 1 over 3 H2. Okay, not multiplying. We are, my bad. Okay, so we know that H1 plus H2 is equal to 4 because of this. Okay, now we can plug and chug. Okay, we can plug in H1 because we know that H1 plus H2, we can solve for H2, which is the bigger one. So we get 4 over 3 H2 is equal to 4. Once we solve for H2, this is not H squared, this is H2. I'm sorry for that. So we get H2 is equal to 3. Right? Since they're in common ratio 3 to 1. Right? So then that means that 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. So that means H1 is 4. So now, simple geometry again. Okay? This is 1. This value is 3. Okay? So now the area of this triangle is 3 times 3 over 2, or 4.5. Now the area of this is 1 times 1 over 2. Okay? So this would yield us with the value of is 0.5. Okay? So now once we solve all of this, we would get 3 left over for the bat wings. That shows that our answer is C. Now we're going to move on to the next problem. Our second problem of the day is this. I've already gone through and drew on this. Okay, so two congruent circles centered at point A and B, each passes each other's center, right? The line containing both A and B is extended to intersect the point circles at point C and D. The circles intersect at 2 points, one of which is E, which is a measure of CED. Okay. So firstly, the question is asking us to find not the area, the angle is of this. Okay. What we can do is we can drop down a real quick. You can drop down a equilateral triangle right here. I'm sorry that my diagram is not that better. Is that not that good? Okay, so equilateral triangles. What is so special about them? They all have the same angle measure, which means that every single angle here is 60. And now what the special thing is, that we can see that this makes its own triangle. Now that we do that. And now we know that E is also part of it. So we have, E, okay, so now we can't go this far, okay? So 60, this is a line. This is a straight line. Straight lines of angles of 180. So now 180 minus 60 will give us 120 for the angle B. For angle B in EBD, okay? So we would get that this value is 120. Right. So now what you can do is you can see that these two angles are also equal to each other. So now we can do 60, which is 180 because the area of a triangle, no, the amount of angles in triangle is 180. So we would get 60 over 2 because it's shared over 2, so we get 30. Which means that this is also 30. So, same side here, it's also 30. 30 plus 30, plus remember that equilateral triangle we had drawn? There's another 60 coming from here, which would be this one, this top angle, which would be another 60. So 30 plus 30 plus 60 is 120. So our answer would be 120. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe so that I can continue posting more type of this content.